This is the newest, most exciting entertainment show where nothing is off limits.
We bring you real, authentic, and raw conversations.
Enjoy good vibes, fashion, and lifestyle from your favorite celebrities.
Fun, trending topics, games, and educative segments.
Every Tuesdays from 3 p.m. and Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. With me, Lavin, Nyagowa,
and Hazel Jeru.
Only on The Unfiltered.
Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys? I go by the name Rainams.
Ati nikipita kwa macho na nipimia, na kama sina pesa ungewezi nipimia. Hapa Shenster the Poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love, I don't fake it. Hey, da kumenya mawado mako. Nani anedera shire. Oh, rutani waku.
Vichekesho mkisongaza, mahojiano moto moto, stori za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Fiki wa kasi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida.
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie, I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya. I'm a student. Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni.
Good evening. It is the 29th of September 2023. Welcome to today's news recap. My name is Nyagowa. The Kenya Women Parliamentary Association KEWAPA is pushing for a groundbreaking change in the legal landscape. They aim to criminalize violence against women during pregnancy, childbirth and post-childbirth process. Githunguri MP Gathoni wa Mushomba has presented a motion to the National Assembly proposing amendments to the health-related laws. If passed, these changes would make it a punishable offense to abuse women during the childbirth process, with more stringent penalties for those found guilty of obstetric violence.
OBV is physical and verbal violence. We have had very serious verbal abuses. Personally, I'm a victim, and I know so many women here will confess that they have been verbally abused during labor or during childbirth.
Let's not limit violence to physical assault. There may be utterances that we utter to people that cause more harm than even the physical attack that we do.
Most of these times when these things happen to us, we don't even know that it's a violence against women. We just think it's something that is happening to all of us. And so I'm also joining my colleagues to say maybe the numbers that we have there is not the right number.
A division has emerged among education stakeholders following a decision to alter the grading structure for the KCSE for the remaining class under the 844 system. Education CS Ezekiel Machogu announced these changes on Monday, with implementation scheduled for this year. Under the new system proposed by the Presidential Working Party for Education Reform, KCSE grading will now rely on 2 compulsory subjects to determine a learner's final score. Antonio Mbui has more.
The Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu announced the implementation of the recommendation made by the Presidential Working Party on education reforms. The changes are intended to increase the number of candidates who qualify to the universities and tertiary education.
A new grading system that will be applied to the 2023 KCSE examination, the only two mandatory subjects will be mathematics and one language, either English language, Kiswahili, or Kenyan Sign Language. In addition to the two mandatory subjects, the Kenya National Examination Council will consider another 5 best performed subjects.
The new structure differs from the past system, where the mean grade of KCSE exams were accumulated from the 5 compulsory subjects across the 3 clusters. The sciences included mathematics, Kiswahili, English, 2 sciences plus 2 humanities. The Working Party on Education Reforms noted that the system focused largely on academics, but according to the ministry, the system aims on focusing on competence of learners and give them opportunity to develop skills and the values necessary. Additionally, the education sector has put measures to prevent the cheating in examination.
This year's exams, the collection of the KCSE examinations papers will be done twice from the container. The Council has mapped all examination centers to the nearest distribution point so that every school is able to pick its examination papers more efficiently.
Measures to ensure that the last phase of the preparations for the national examinations are successful. All TSC field officers who are currently on leave must resume duty on October 16th, 2023.
Concerning the KCSE grading changes, we interacted with the students from different institutions, and these are their views.
Anaitwa Samuel Kioko. Kulingana na hiyo swali yako, unaweza sema idea ni mzuri kwa sababu ma students watakuwa wanapata opportunities. Si kama sisi wenye tulikuwa lazima umepita 3 sciences, maths, English. Wao wanaweza pata opportunity ya kufanya any course through the HODs ama deans of the schools. Wanaweza wasaidia wapate courses different zenye wanaweza fanya apart from sisi wenye tunataka kufanya main something but hatuna opportunity because of before.
So kwa mimi naweza sema gava imefanya kitu mzuri sana, sababu kuna mastudio walikuwa na struggle sana in terms of kuchoose some courses. Some courses unapata kufanya hiyo course lazima ukuwe na some subjects ka chemistry hivi, lakini unapata bado kwa high school kuna wenye walikuwa na struggle sana na kemia hivi, lakini sasa gava imefanya kitu mzuri sana.
Kuna zile subjects zenye mastudio kuna jua ni ngumu, kitu ka physics. So now okay, sasa hiyo wametoa hiyo factor ya kupass zote. So kitu ka physics kaina kulemeanga, uko na more chances za kupass since una pass other subjects. Kitu ka English, theory and the others.
In short, ICD. Me kivyangu, according to medical courses ICD. How comes mathematics and English? How will you do medical courses with maths and English and geography without chemistry or biology or physics? That's impossible.
Those are opinions given by Kenyans concerning the changes that were made in KCSE grading system. Reporting for TAS TV from Thika, Kiambu County, my name is Anton Mbuyogechi.
Away from that, the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has issued a stern warning to government agencies and public officers against any attempts to embezzle funds allocated for managing the anticipated effects of El Nino rains. Speaking at a stakeholders meeting in Karen on Thursday, Gachagua emphasized that the government will require a minimum of 10 billion Kenya shillings to effectively mitigate the potential impacts of El Nino rains. In a collaborative effort, Council of Governors Chair Anne Waiguru pledged that counties will allocate 15 billion Kenya shillings to provide essential food support to households affected by impending weather phenomenon.
We do propose that we have proper coordination, stakeholder participation, and as we go on, each sector to prioritize possible response in terms of prime urgency.
And out of the 23 counties that we have, we already have an estimation of about 8 billion shillings. You can imagine by the time the others come, we'll probably be at 15 15 billion shillings that will be required to fund this El Nino preparedness and response activities.
We are not preparing to respond to the El Nino expected disaster. Rather, we are consolidating and refining coordination strategy for mitigation. Unlike the past, we are saving lives and livelihoods before tragedy strikes. It's very important for us, Kenyans, to take measures to reduce the negative impact of these rains. That is why we are appealing to those living in low-lying and flood-prone areas to move to higher grounds.
Nandi County Senator Samson Cherargei has submitted a memorandum to the National Dialogue Committee at the Bomas of Kenya, proposing a constitutional amendment to extend the presidential term limit from the current 5 years to 7 years. This proposal has stirred mixed reactions among Kenyans, with some expressing concerns about potential ulterior motives behind the move. Gabriel Kimare with more.
Nandi County Senator Samson Cherargei's proposal to amend the presidential term limit has drawn sharp reactions, with critics saying it could be a plot to introduce presidents for life in the near future. As a member of the ruling UDA party led by President William Ruto, many observers see mischief in the proposal, which, if passed, will see the country elect presidents after 7 years as opposed to the current 5. The lawmaker has presented a memorandum to the National Dialogue Committee of the Bomas of Kenya, seeking to amend the constitution to extend the presidential term limit in Kenya from 5 to 7 years before the next election. The argument, according to the senator, a mere 5-year term does not allow enough time for effective governance and the formation of a capable team to implement the manifesto. The senator has also come out to explain and defend his proposal.
The Kenya presidential election is always highly profiled as a result of it being conducted within a short period of time, thus making it a do-or-die adventure. The continuous campaign mood in the country has been occasioned by the perception that elections are held within the short period of 5 years. In any election period, we lose a whole year in campaigns, and another year is lost immediately after election because of the litigations in the Supreme Court, and thereafter, transition period of new government, settling down in the formation of new government, such as cabinet vetting by parliament, and appointment of the same, including senior government officials. In total, we lose 2 years in a period of 5 years, leaving only 3 years for a president and new government to work. It is therefore justifiable to increase the presidential term limit to 7 years per term, totaling to 14 years, if someone is re-elected to office.
Cherargei has also come out to urge his critics to respect his opinion, saying he won't be intimidated or coerced by anybody. Cherargei says he respects everybody's opinion as a beauty of democracy.
So we should not, and I want to assure my critics that I am one of the few people who cannot be intimidated or blackmailed or coerced into following a certain opinion, simply because you think you are too brilliant or too right than anybody else. And as a leader who has served for many years in this country, I respect the opinion of everybody. I have seen the opinions of Kenyans who are dissenting, and that is the beauty of democracy. And I hope the National Dialogue Committee will not be swayed by this pedestrian.
This proposal has sparked mixed reactions among many Kenyans who are already burdened by the high cost of...
Mimi niko doctor. Hiyo mjandara ya president kwenda miaka 7, hiyo sioni kama inawezekana. Kwanza tushughulikie na mambo ya economy. Juu maisha sasa iko juu sana. Si mafuta. Kama sisi tunaumia. Nyumbani tunaenda na pesa hata itoshi familia.
Kwa majina naitwa Mikifaya. Kulingana na hii proposal ya Samson Cherargei ya kuongeza limit ya president for 7 years, mimi naona hiyo kitu tupiliwe mbali. Juu hata tuliona BBI ilikuwa na hiyo proposal, lakini hao ndo walipinga. Sasa hizi hao kwa gava, juu mtu wao wanataka wamuongezea aende miaka 14. Hiyo si tunakataa. Wewe bana Chege tafutia mfanyie watu yenye mliwaahidi bana. Saizi wasee wanaumia bana. Saizi wasee wanasafa bana.
If implemented, Cheragai's proposal will mean that a newly elected president will serve for a period of 7 years. Reporting for TAS, I am Gabriel Kimare.
The top leadership of the Kenya Prison Service will no longer be recruited from external security agencies. Instead, the mantle of leadership within the correctional facilities will be entrusted to career prison officers. According to the Interior CS Kithure Kindiki, this move aims to establish a clear and structured career progression path within the service. This shift in leadership selection is expected to have a profound impact on the management and operations of the Kenya Prison Service as experienced professionals within the institution assume leadership roles.
So I have made it clear, this is the last time we are going to have an officer outside the Kenya Prison Service leading the Kenya Prison Service, because it demoralizes the officers who we recruit every year if they cannot aspire to rise to the top and so forth. So we are working on that area on succession management, career progressions, promotions, and much of it has been addressed in the Presidential Task Force report. It's only that I didn't want to preempt it.
Let's now cross over to the health sector. The Social Health Insurance Bill has been officially tabled in Parliament after the conclusion of a public participation process. This bill is part of a series of legislation that the executive aims to have enacted before the launch of the Universal Healthcare Program next month. Under the bill, the Social Health Insurance Fund will replace the National Hospital Insurance Fund. However, its implementation may result in increased taxes for Kenyans as it seeks to finance the provision of envisioned health service under the Act.
Following the conclusion of public participation, the Social Health Insurance Bill has been tabled in Parliament. The bill is amongst the raft of pieces of legislation that the executives hopes will be enacted ahead of the launch of the Universal Healthcare Program next month. The Social Health Insurance Bill establishes the Social Health Insurance Fund that will take over the National Health Insurance Fund NHIF, and its implementation could see Kenyans pay more in terms of taxes to finance the provision of health services envisioned.
UHC through strengthening primary health care.
This comes after the President launched the distribution of health kits across the country to kick off the government's plan to provide universal health coverage that will reach the marginalized areas. The 100,000 health kits are to be used by community health promoters to provide basic health services in homes across the country.
Ghafla hii ya muhimu, leo tunakutana hapa kuanzisha safari ya kubadilisha vile afya itawafikia Wakenya katika vijiji zetu kila sehemu ya Kenya. Hapa tumekutana kwa sababu kwa muda mrefu tumekuwa tukipanga afya ya kutibu, lakini saa hizi tunapanga afya ya kuzuia magonjwa. We are also starting the journey to register every household in Kenya so that we can have the information on the health requirements, on the health condition, on the prevalence of whatever diseases in every part of Kenya.
The laws that have been proposed, the 4 bills that are proposed that are before Parliament today, which have had very comprehensive consultation, and we want to confirm here today we are consulted as Council of Governors and we have given our input, are going to make sure that we have a uniformity in the whole of Kenya, where there is a CHV from Tharaka Nithi, Turkana, Mombasa. They are going to operate under the same standards.
The Social Health Insurance Bill seeks to establish the Social Health Insurance Fund that will be used for preventive, promotive and primary care services at community dispensary and health center levels, and build a chronic illness and emergency fund that provides for chronic illnesses. To actualize this, the government will seek to deduct 2.75% of the gross salary of taxpayers to raise the money needed. The proposed mandatory reduction of 2.75% on taxpayers' payslips has elicited sharp criticism from civil society organizations who have faulted the government of being blind to the plight of Kenyans by continuing to levy more taxes.
Proposal to have a mandatory 2.75% monthly contribution from the employees' basic salaries for the health scheme is excessive and will further strain the taxpayer.
Eligible to contribute are every household, non-Kenyan residents residing in Kenya for a period exceeding 1 year, the national government, the county government and any other employer. Social Health Insurance Bill is among the 4 bills proposed by the executives for fast-tracking by Parliament to operationalize the health plan. The government's plan to provide health services will also be depending on accurate data of citizens. This data collection will be tied to provision of basic health care by community promoters. Reporting for TAS TV, Thika County, my name is Rachel Kamau.
And that story brings us to the end of the first part of today's news recap. We head on a very short commercial break, but remember we still have more for you, so stay put.
Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys? I go by the name Rainams.
Eti nikipita kwa macho unanipimia na kama sina pesa unguwezi nipimia hapa Shenster the Poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love, I don't fake it. Hey, da kumenya mawazo mako. Nani anadera shi. Oh, rutani waku.
Vichekesho mkisongaza, mahojiano moto moto, stori za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Fiki wa kasi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida.
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie, I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya. My student. Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for choosing TAS TV. Now, the Anglican Church of Kenya has taken a strong stance against President William Ruto's administration. The church leaders accused the government of engaging in rhetoric and making excuses instead of taking deliberate actions to fulfill its campaign promises. Led by Archbishop Jackson Ole Sapit, the Anglican Church leaders expressed their disappointment with the government's approach, emphasizing the need for concrete efforts to implement the pledges made during the election period.
Our honest observation as a church is that there is more of rhetoric and excuses than conscious efforts to take practical implementation. We urge the government to go beyond promises and lip service and embrace practical programs to alleviate sufferings of Kenyans. The cessation of public appointments In already divided nation, Kenyans deserve equal opportunities and the treatment regardless from where they come from. We call upon the teams involved to embrace the spirit of good faith during the talks and to provide ways that can help the country address deeply rooted systemic issues which have polarized this nation. Excessive taxation is detrimental not only to the spirit of the investment, but it is also a demotivating factor to the people who work hard to make a living. The high increase in taxation, notably the VAT added on petrol, is a source of concern for all. We believe it is imperative for our government to appreciate the fact that Kenyan citizens are already stretched to their limits.
Away from that, a petitioner who previously advocated for the ban of TikTok in the country has now shifted his position. In a hearing before the National Assembly's Petitions Committee, Mr. Ndolo expressed his new perspective, emphasizing the importance of regulating the social media application instead of an outright ban. He urged lawmakers to consider implementing laws to oversee and manage TikTok's operations. Mohammed Ali with more details.
The petitioner seeking a ban on TikTok in the country due to inappropriate content has toned down and now wants a regularization of the application through strict regulations. Appearing before the National Assembly public petition, Bob Ndolo, the Executive Director General of Bridge Consultancy, amended the petition to focus on regulation after receiving calls from various stakeholders regarding the app's usage. These coming days after President William Ruto had talks with TikTok Chief Executive Officer Shuzi Chiu, where they agreed on a moderation mechanism to reduce negative content on the video sharing application.
I know we've had a conversation as a country around TikTok and some of the challenges that are in that space. And like we have moderation capacities of the other platforms, YouTube and Twitter, tomorrow morning we are having that conversation with the global CEO of TikTok so that we can agree on a mechanism to moderate content in their space so that we can reduce the content that is negative and leverage on the monetization that is benefiting a lot more people.
This has also caused mixed reactions among many TikTokers in the country.
My name is Cindy. Na mimi hutumia TikTok na kuna hii move ilitoka ati TikTok ibainiwe. For me, I'm against that thing of banning TikTok because TikTok depends na the content yenyewe mwenyewe una search na the side of TikTok that you follow because TikTok iko na positive and the negative side of it. Na badala ya kuban TikTok, they can at least put some regulations, some restrictions hivi at least cause right now TikTok hakuna mtu hawezi access hata mtoto mdogo, so weke tu restrictions, maybe wanaweza sema to access TikTok yani kuna vitu yani some restriction tu yani kuna vitu hizi search at a certain age.
Naitwa Maureen Karaoke na hii mambo ya gava kuban TikTok mimi si support kwa sababu kuna wase wanakulia tu hapo. Naona ni vizuri tu wa regulate hizo rules ndo wenye wana misuse wa as in short me tunaona wasiban juu kuna watu kama sisi tunakulia.
Music and Copyright Society of Kenya Chief Executive Officer Ezekiel Mutua, who also supports the petition, declared that the app has a massive negative effects on the masses due to unregulated content. Mutua implored MPs to take immediate action to safeguard Kenyans from the negative effects of the app, which has exposed children to profanity and nudity. The big question remains, should the government put restriction to regulate TikTok or should they ban it completely? Reporting for TAS TV, I'm Ali Mohammed.
And now some good news for the youth in Kericho. Kericho Governor Eric Mutai has extended a warm welcome to the European Union Ambassador to Kenya for her support in a collaborative initiative with the county. The collaboration involves offering scholarships to local youth with the potential to pursue higher education abroad and secure employment prospects afterwards. This partnership underscores a commitment to nurturing talent and empowering young minds within Kericho.
We've been able to have a number of discussions. One of the discussions we've been able to explore is and appreciate is our willingness to partner with Kericho County in speaking to issues of unemployment of our youth. Through her support and through her network, through the European Union, we have had a discussion. We are going to put in a proposal and be able to submit to our officers on the following issues. Number one, we will have a discussion on the scholarship for our youth. She indicated to us that the European Union has a huge opportunity for the graduates that we have. As you are aware, in Kericho County, just like many other counties, we have so many graduates who are unemployed and they're jobless. And as a county, we've been always looking and trying to identify how we can tap in to the potential of these youths. Recently, we've been able to employ close to 300 interns who are actually graduates from the university but do not have any sense of meaningful employment. To this extent, we appreciate the extension of the EU that we can work together to be able to get scholarship abroad and be able to get even job opportunities abroad for the many of our youths who are unemployed and they have graduates.
We also discussed a lot about opportunities in the agricultural sector, and the EU has several projects working with young people and women to make agriculture profitable, to run agriculture like a business and to make good money out of it. So we do that with grants, loans, technical assistance, and I think in Kenya, 60% of the workforce is still absorbed in the agricultural sector. And I'm convinced, and we have seen that with several examples and conversations, that there can be good money be made in the agricultural sector with the right skills.
Residents and traders in Thika have voiced their frustrations over excessive noise pollution, prompting calls for action from the county government. The community is urging local authorities to implement measures aimed at reducing noise levels in these areas. Complaints about noise disturbances have been on the rise, affecting the quality of life for residents and impacting businesses. Christine Wanjiru with more details.
Thika town is populated with clubs, investments, and modern recreation centers in Kenya. Residents from Thika town, Kiambu County, have been complaining about noise pollution from various entertainment joints. The government have not taken any legal action against noise pollution in Thika town. The resident states that the noise coming from those entertainment joints that play loud music is very disturbing and annoying, especially during the night hours when most people are required to be resting.
My names are Diana and Jerry, and I live in Thika, and I live in a place where there is a lot of pollution. I mean pollution of noise, and as you can see, I have a business that I'm running, and to me, in this pollution of noise, there is so many distractions to my customers and to my businesses. So if there is anything our government can do so that we can have such that the noise that is in these pubs and these cars, you can see there are cars, Nissans and Matatus all over. So if our government can take this opportunity and they come up with a rule that will make sure that the noise that is being produced in these matatus and pubs will not affect my customers and also my business, and it will not contradict my business. When I'm talking to a customer, you can hear that, you can see that a customer is not hearing me, or maybe I have to shout so that a customer can hear me, and we are just close. So this noise pollution, it's not a good thing to me as a business person.
Peter Gekonyo, mimi ni mkaji hapa Thika Town. Sasa disadvantage ziko huku ni hizi clubs zenye ziko karibu na sisi. Hizo makelele wanapiga usiku. Kama mimi nakaa hapa Thika Town na mimi niko na familia. Sasa ile sauti usiku inatusumbua sana, watoi walali. So mimi ningeomba gava yeke rules fulani hapo wa reduce hizo masauti, as in wakuwe tu zinasikika ndani, zisitoke huku nje. Huku nje zinatusumbua sana. Alafu bado hapa kwa biashara, mimi ni mwanabiashara hapa, saa zingine unaweza kosata kusikizana na customer. Tuko karibu hapa na maklabu lakini zinatusumbua sana, ngoma.
Residents of Thika Town are now calling on the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, to make legal amends on noisy entertainment spots by ensuring there is a noise-free environment. According to the law, sound limits in Kenya residential areas are 45 decibels during the day and 35 decibels during the night. In commercial areas, mixed with the residence areas, is 50 decibels during the night and 35 decibels during the day.
Noise is everywhere. Noise makes people sick, but there is innovative solutions to reduce noise pollution. Reporting for TAS TV, Thika Town, Kiambu County, my name is Christine Wanjiru.
24 counties are set to benefit from a substantial boost to their local edible oil production. They're set to receive 500 metric tons of sunflower seeds under the Edible Oil Promotion Project. These seeds will be sourced from Zambia as a part of a comprehensive 5-year program aimed at enhancing domestic edible oil production and reducing imports by up to 50%. This announcement was made during a collaborative meeting between the Agriculture and Food Authority and the Council of Governors.
Agreed on how we are going to progress production of at least 200,000 acres of sunflower, moving it from just 4,000 acres previously. And we want to thank the national government for that cooperation and support. And I'm here representing the Council of Governors, the entire governors team, and particularly the counties that are going to be running with the sunflower process. The regulator and as the people who are dealing with this crop who are given the responsibility of importing, and like explained, we couldn't get seeds here. Even Kenya Seed couldn't be able to get us the adequate seeds. Even what we have gotten is not enough, but it's good as a starter, because next year we'll be able to even to produce our own seeds.
This is addressing one of the key agendas of the national current government. The current government is focusing on 3 areas. It's food security, make sure that we're producing enough for our people. Number 2, reducing on imports, and this is where this edible oil component is lying. It is not a heavy capital investment. It doesn't take long to grow or to mature. Within a period of 2-3 months, the farmers will be harvesting their crop and extracting oil.
Let's wrap up the news with some mindful moments. Take a deep breath, relax, and let's have fun and laugh together. Remember, it's okay to unwind and enjoy life's little pleasures. It's time for Brain Busters.
Welcome back to our Brain Busters, and my name is Anton Ombuyi Ogechi. Hebu tuimbie ule wimbo wa taifa. Say what?
Mungu nguvu yetu, ilete baraka kwetu, akiwe ngao na mlinzi, na tukae kwa undugu, amani na uhuru, tupate na ustawi.
Tuimbie wimbo wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki.
Mugugufu yetu ileta baraka kwetu, kiwegao na ulizi.
Tupe Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki huwa wanaanzangaje?
Jumuiya ya Afrika twaipenda Afrika yetu, Kenya, Tanzania na Uganda.
Ile Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki huwa inaanzaje?
Hiyo sijui hata kamwe.
Mtu anakufa katika nchi yako, serikali haina habari. La mimi inanisaidia nini? Hivyo la mimi inanisaidia nini?
Kwa Kiswahili anaweza itwaje? Yule mnyama anaitwa hippo, huwa anaweza kuitwaje kwa Kiswahili?
Anaitwa mnyama mla watu.
Hippopotamus, the hippo. Labda pia kwa Kiswahili tunaweza sema hippo ni nini?
Say what? Say what?
Mnyama anaishi kwa maji, lakini kwa usiku anatokea.
Sasa hippo kwa Kiswahili tunaweza sema ni mnyama gani?
Hippo kwa Kiswahili hippo yule mnyama wa majini. Ni kifalme. Okay, hiyo imenichenga kidogo, sikumbuki vizuri.
Hippo ni kwa Kiingereza, kwa Kiswahili hippo ni nini?
Kiboko.
Zebra labda kwa Kiswahili tunaweza kuitaje?
Zebra kwa Kiswahili? Waboi, anaitwa nani? Waboi Musore.
Na zebra labda kwa Kiswahili ni nini?
Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta,
ni punda mwenye ana mistari.
Mama, please, mama.
Punda. Sini punda.
That marks the end of our Brain Busters. Join me next time. My name is Anton Ombuyogechi.
And with that, we come to the end of our news recap. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Let's meet same time, same place next week. My name is Lavin Nyagowa. God bless you.
This is the newest, most exciting entertainment show where nothing is off limits. We bring you real, authentic, and raw conversation. Enjoy good vibes, fashion, and lifestyle from your favorite celebrities. Fun, trending topics, games, and educative segments. Every Tuesdays from 3 p.m. and Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. With me, Lavin, Nyagowa,
and Hazel Jeru.
Only on The Unfiltered.